Welcome, Aquarius, to your in-depth weekly astrology overview for week commencing the 6th of July for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Going to share with you, first of all, the big themes of the week. Then on screen is your event chart. I'll unpack that, then go through the influences in detail. At the end of the video, you'll have a clear picture of what this week holds. Thank you so much for joining me, astrologer Patrick Arundel. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. It's a week when your two ruling planets of Saturn and Uranus are very much in the mix. We also have a quarter moon in Aries. Neptune goes into a retrograde. And on Thursday, Venus, the relator, but also the planet of money, moves into the practical earthy Virgo. On the screen now, your event chart. So let's just look first of all at the position of the sun. The sun in Cancer, very much to do with home, emotion, family, intuition, nurture, protectiveness. The sixth house can be where we grapple those details or catch up on those chores that maybe we've neglected a little bit. But it can also be the sixth house wanting to do a job that gives us a lot of personal satisfaction. It's a very dutiful house. Mercury, however, is in retrograde still through to the 23rd. So little details can cause snags. So concentration will ward those off. But Saturn, your traditional ruler, is square into the sun, and therefore the third, sixth house is a square that can tempt us to want to try to do too much, almost to be too virtuous. And because the quarter moon on Tuesday is exactly conjunct Saturn, it may be that if you have a conversation, not even intentionally, you could come across maybe a bit more serious or a bit dour or maybe even a bit jarring. Someone might feel you're a bit picky or critical or just not in a very good mood. They really abrase each other and deplete each other in not a very helpful way. However, with Neptune going retrograde on Tuesday, that third house of how you think and your ideas and beliefs is going to be a very enriching area to dive deep within yourself through to early December. What is undeniably so, however, is the conjunction between Mars and Uranus, which peaked last Saturday, is a crackerjack. It sparkles and it's linking with Jupiter, Pluto, Neptune. If you're a creative, and few Aquarius people aren't, this is really giving you an option to dazzle people with your charisma, but most of all with your ideas and fresh ways of thinking. And it can, create lots of different possibilities for you. But what we also have is Venus diving deep on Thursday into the eighth house. Venus in the eighth house around romance could kind of create an impulse for greater intimacy, even though Virgo and Venus are not the hottest combination, but in terms of the house. However, it could also be that if you are working to improve your financial situation, the skill and good fortune of a partner or what you're doing together could bring some results. But in the romantic dimension, if you're or have been seeing someone recently, and for you, maybe it's just been a sort of lovely connection, you're not wanting too much from it. If someone suddenly wants much more, I think Venus squaring with Uranus could ask the question, do you really want that? Now, you may, but if you don't, I think that could almost tempt you to break free. But Jupiter on that seventh house is going to bring rewards around all sorts of connections over the next 13 months. There is no doubt about it at all. And you could have a magical conversation even by the end of this week, or you could have one where you and the other person see things so diametrically differently that it puts you at either end of the sofa. I'm going to summarize those four areas of vitality, work, relationships, and finances next, Aquarius. Just before I do, I've reduced the price of my personal horoscope reports. It's now three for the price of one. They're professional quality. They will give you searing insights but also they're great value. And you'll get your life roadmap, 12 months forecast, and your draconic soul karmic analysis. Please see below for more. If you've yet to watch your Jupiter into Leo 13-month forecast or your July monthly forecast, please click on the I within the video. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, it would be an absolute pleasure. Please see my testimonials below. And if you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope, you can do that below too as well. Get your early day celestial pit stop. So as far as energy is concerned this week, if you try to do too much, honestly, you're going to feel really quite whacked very quickly. This aspect is evolving as I'm recording this, and I am absolutely totaled for various reasons. So exhaustion can be to the fore. So it's about pacing oneself. I know I need to pace myself too, but it's also about not trying to go for perfection. Yes, we can try and organize ourselves and improve things, but prioritize what's really important. In terms of romance, well, if you're lucky enough to be having sparkling chats with someone really different at the moment, and you're enjoying it, there's lots to go for. I think really and true that Saturn in the third house just asks you to be sincere, and but there's real good stuff there for all sorts of interactions. If you aren't enjoying a relationship, Venus moving into Virgo and squaring off with your modern ruler Uranus, that could be the trigger that says, I need freedom now, which of course, as you know, can be an astrological characteristic of us water bearers. In terms of finance, the week begins with the North Node and the Moon in the second house. And then Venus moves into the eighth. I think on the whole, what I would say is that Venus in the eighth is likely to bring you some kind of reward over the next near to 4 weeks. And as far as your professional situation is concerned, I think you need to be doing something where you're at the heart of the action and you feel fulfilled. If it's a lot of very small, precise, but rather repetitive tasks, I think it could be a bit frustrating and tiring this week. Thank you for joining me, Aquarius. Have a great week.